Hello everyone, my name is Tacos, and welcome to a new episode of Spellbreak in Depth. Today, we're going to be talking about the Frost Gauntlet, how it works, its DPS, mana consumption, and more. Keep in mind, class skills, damage mods, and fervor will not be taken account during this. Let's get into it. The Frost Gauntlet has been labeled as the sniper of Spellbreak. Its spell is a charge up that sends a projectile flying once released. Its projectile flies similar to how an arrow, fitting the bow and arrow aesthetic of the Frost Gauntlet. In my own personal testing, the projectile speed flies at about 200 meters per second. Although this is not 100% accurate, it is very close to what the actual speed is. The maximum damage for the Frost Gauntlet goes as follows: 45 for common, 54 for uncommon, 63 for rare, 66 for epic, and 72 for legendary. The projectile itself is a thin projectile, not as thin as lightning, and just slightly bigger than a toxic stream. Optimal range for the gauntlet, in my opinion, is around 30 to 80 meters. Of course, you can hit shots past the 80 meter mark, but it becomes more of a guessing game at longer ranges. The Frost Gauntlet has a sorcery called Flash Freeze. It puts up a short vertical tube that surrounds you. It is 6 meters wide and blocks incoming wind, lightning, and fire projectiles. Not only that, but you can also freeze and slow your enemies. It also has a 15-second cooldown. The Frost Gauntlet has a 0.5 second wind-up time. This is the time that it takes for you to put your hands together in order to charge the gauntlet. The full charge time for the Frost Gauntlet is 1.25 seconds, meaning just slightly under 2 seconds to cast a fully charged Ice Lance. The Frost Gauntlet has a recovery time of 0.5 seconds. This means it takes another half second after you have casted a spell to start casting it again. Lastly, the Frost Gauntlet has a 0.5 second mana recharge delay, so after the spell is casted, it takes another half second for your mana to start recharging. The Frost Gauntlet's mana consumption goes as such: 60 for common, 54 for uncommon, 48 for rare, 42 for epic, 40 for legendary. The most mana consuming gauntlet in the entire game. The Frost Gauntlet's DPS is very odd. Like other videos, you should consider this as if we were point blank with the Frost with no projectile travel time. The DPS values go as follows: 15 for common, 19 for uncommon, 22.91 for rare, 24 for epic, and 26.18 for legendary, putting it at the lowest DPS in the game. The Frost Gauntlet has a number of elemental interactions. The Frost can freeze both toxic clouds and toxic puddles. Also, the sorcery freezes toxic spray. You can extinguish fireballs and firewalls with both your spell and your sorcery. Your sorcery can freeze boulders that are thrown from inside of it, and also boulders that are thrown into it will freeze anyone who is in the area of effect there. Frost has no interaction with lightning outside of Flash Freeze blocking it. Frost shots can have their trajectory changed by both wind shears and tornadoes, although it is very rare for a wind shear to do this. Considering Frost is the highest damage gauntlet in the game, its fast projectile speed and elemental interactions, I'll rank Frost as an S tier offhand for most classes. And that's it for this episode of Spellbreak in Depth. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you left a like, and subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, I'll see you in the HoloLens.